Hi there, welcome to Nonsense Whisky. My name's Vin PF, and on today's episode we're going to be covering another one of the Highland Park Warrior series. I did a couple of these a little while back, earlier this year, maybe even last year in fact, it's been a while. But I covered the first two in that series in a kind of verses. The series itself, it used to be a travel retail exclusive, but they've actually changed their mind on that a little bit and it's no longer available basically, they're discontinuing the series. So you can still get hold of these bottlings on various websites. For instance, Master of Malt and the Whisky Exchange have got nearly all of them in stock still, but they are no longer available in travel retail, and they've been replaced with a new series of no age statement whiskies in their new style bottlings. So the series itself is about the warriors of old kind of Norse history. So we're talking about kind of Viking stuff, we're talking like some of these names that you see on these bottles are actually in the TV show Vikings, which I think is part of Amazon Prime or some such. This is the third one, as I said earlier. The first two were the Einar and the Sven. They were 1 litre bottles. This one is the first in the series that goes back down to 70 sils, and it's a kind of midpoint in the range. So the way that the Warrior series works is it's a mixture of American oak and European Spanish oak. So they have different varieties, different combinations of that, starting out with the Einar very early on, and that is kind of mostly American oak, and it moves on slowly. This one is getting on for 50-50. It's also 50% first fills and 50% refills. So it's starting to get interesting basically, but the price also starts going through the roof. So the first one in the series and the second one, they were £30 and £50 respectively. This one is getting on for £70-75. Then it went up to £150, then to £400, then £1,000. So this will be the last one in the Warrior series that I try, and hopefully it'll be a kind of nice wrap up for the ones that I will try, because now that they're discontinued, £150 is not out of my remit, but it has to be pretty special for me to spend that much. I've only spent more than that once, and I don't think I would go for it, to be honest. But let's crack on with this one and see if it's any good and worth tracking down. As you can see, it's got a nice presentation, nice Highland Park style bottle. This is their old style bottle, so you don't get the bottles like this anymore. You get the new ones with the kind of fancy cork twister. Pretty good. And why not in my Highland Park glass? It's a little bit like a Glencairn, so just bear with me. But it's a nice little glass. I like it. Let's get onto the nose and see what we feel. Alright, it's got this incredible rich nose to it. The other two had sherry elements to them, but this one, it's starting to really come forward now. Really strong kind of brown sugar flavours. I should say as well, this really benefits from sitting on the side before you drink it. When I first got this bottle, I sort of went obviously straight in, nose, and I thought, well, that's a bit flat, don't really like that, it's a bit of a funny flavour. But leave it on the side for 20 minutes and it really opens up. Let's try on the palate. It's got a good set of flavours to it. It's a bit of a disappointing 40%, I will say that. They do start going up in ABV after this, but this one is still 40%. It could definitely do with being a little bit more, but a lot of them sherry flavours are coming forward now, a bit more oak, so you can tell this is ever so slightly more aged. I'm not sure of the ages of any of these, but the difference in quality is definitely visible throughout this range so far. So much more of those sherry notes coming through, but also that kind of really beautiful heathery smokiness. Very light, very light indeed, but it's definitely there. It's the kind of thing that would give me alarm bells in a blind tasting. When I get that heathery note to it, I immediately start thinking about Highland Park, and I've only been confused about that a couple of times, but I have noticed that in other drams that are not Highland Park, and it has made me lead them towards them. But yeah, a really nice flavour from Highland Park actually. I'm really impressed with this one. The only thing I will say is that, I mean, I was bought this as a gift by my brother-in-law. And in fact, he bought me the whole series so far. We did have a joke about maybe not going any further in the Warrior series after this one. And I don't blame him at all, because it's starting to get really quite expensive. Would I have spent it myself? That's the real question. I've ummed and ahed in front of this thing before I was given it, and £70, £75 always seemed a little bit too much, considering that the people in the airport never had a dram of it to spare to let me have a try. I could never have spent that sort of money without trying it. It is a quality dram. It is really nice. It could definitely benefit with having an age statement on there to make people want to buy it, but the fact that it's got no age statement and is at 40%, it's difficult to recommend. That's as much as I can say about it, really. If you're interested in Highland Park and you do like their stuff, then you won't be disappointed. But if you're looking to take a punt on a bottle from Highland Park, this isn't the starting point, without a doubt. This is starting to push through to their kind of extra levels, and it'll be interesting to see what they've replaced this with in their travel retail series, if there's some more affordable bottlings going in, or if they've replaced it all the way up to this £1,000 Torfin bottling that is definitely out of my reach and I probably will never try.